Alright, I'm making another Castle Crashers tier list for campaign skill cap because the old one is a bit outdated. I feel like I can improve upon what I know now after quite a few modded challenges and whatnot, so I'm just gonna make a new one. Alright, so first things first, Blue Knight and Eskimo go up in S tier because they have their magic freezes enemies for a few seconds, infinite stun lock via elemental infusion on every humanoid enemy, including beefies, and Blue Knight has an air splash in all his magic freezes, so that's going to put him slightly above Eskimo. Only Eskimo's ground splash freezes. Below that, we're going to do the tornadoes. They can just do so much shit. They can do the infinite roll glitch. They can do tornado tech, combo preservation, safer landing. Bear has a better midweight juggle. They both have an easier heavyweight and slope juggle. And basically just more versatility overall. Bear is going to be slightly higher because his tornado actually hits faster. Saracen does have a better projectile, but there's no point in using it because melee exists. So he's going to go lower. Below that, we're going to put Red Knight. And actually, we're going to add a few rows here. That should be good. Alright. Red Knight's magic actually beats melee in some spots, like Necromancer, Barbarian Boss, and Marsh. So I'm going to put him right there because he's one of the only characters that actually has magic that beats melee in certain areas. So he's going to go right there. Fencer and Industrialist are going to go right below him because the only thing they're good for is bosses. And they kill bosses really well. But bosses are the easiest part of the game and no one really cares. So that's why they're not higher. Let me think. Alright. I'm going to put these guys right here because of their bombs, doing beefy AI manipulation is actually faster with them by a slight amount. And Blacksmith has the flaming hammer, which is basically the same thing as a bomb, except without gravity. So they go right there. I'm putting Blacksmith lower because Arrow Rain is just a better splash, although it does not matter at all. So they're going right there. Below that, I'm going to put Necromancer for the only reason that he can do extra damage to War Machine, the Beefy Thief, and Snakies in Marsh during cutscenes because of his projectile. Other than that, there's not really any benefit. Alright. Below that, we're just going to put all these characters. The order doesn't really matter, but since this is a tier list, I'm going to try to put it as correctly as possible. Alright, now, the reason all of these guys are in this tier is because their magic is almost entirely useless because melee outclasses it in almost literally every scenario. So they're all going in here. The reason I put Beekeeper higher than Arrow Rain and Barbarian is for no other reason other than he is good on the Industrial Hand. So he's going right there. King's Healing is, like, has some use if you get hit on, like, literally every other splash. Or not literally every other splash, but most splashes. So I put him slightly higher than them. After that, I'm going to put the fire guys below them. Now, I know a lot of people are going to be like, why'd you put the fire so low? But it's because splashes and magic are almost entirely useless. And their elemental infusion makes beefy AI manipulation worse and slightly slower. But they are good against the beefy brute in the necromancer room. But I don't think that is an excuse to put them any higher because of their beefy AI manipulation being worse. I actually need one more row, which is funny. Alright, Grey Knight. Grey Knight has a terrible elemental infusion, worst in the game. Makes beefies and such take way longer. So he's going right there. Alien, around 10% less juggle DPS, drops juggles on fire-resistant enemies, and less versatility overall because he can't change his weapon. He also has a worse elemental infusion. Green Knight, oh boy. Green Knight is terrible in literally every way. His magic is pretty useless. It's good against like some enemies, but you could just beefy AI manipulate those most of the time. He has around 20% less lightweight juggle DPS. He's less safe while juggling. It's harder to juggle with him. And his heavyweight juggle is so bad, and it's not infinite, that it'd be easier just to drill combo heavyweights. He also has a worse elemental infusion, and his magic has nearly no knockback, which is basically the entire point of magic in the first place if you're actually going to use it, which you shouldn't. And I believe his midweight DPS is slightly lower, but not by much. So that's why he's down there. I basically just wanted to do this because my old one was outdated, and I felt like it was time to make a new one. So yeah, I just made it. Alright, see ya.